Are you shy?
Are you shy?
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression. It's all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon and dub it. Cause bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through.
How are we doing, guys and girls, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you are a regular, thank you so much for coming back, and thank you for your support. So today's video, we're going to be looking at my trip down to Birmingham. Now originally the plan was to go down and do a really cool investigation into Shakespeare, where he was born, where he died, where he lived, and of course his gravesite. Now it just so happened that it was like the hottest 2 days in the history of the world on those 2 days, and it was just too hot. I mean, it was offensive. I felt like nature wanted information from me, and was torturing me to get it, but it just hadn't told me what it wanted to know. I would have told it. But it was hot, and it was a complete washout. So rather than the whole thing being a waste of time, community member Fleur had an interesting story. I had a conversation with her about some weird stuff that had gone on in her house, some stuff that had been happening to her while she was sleeping, and the day after I gave her some advice about moving two mirrors that were facing each other across her bed, the very next day her dog fell out the window. Now, Pep is a small Jack Russell, and I don't really understand how he could have possibly done what he did. I've never heard of a dog falling out of a window unless it's chasing something. Maybe he was chasing something. Maybe there's nothing paranormal at play at all. But for me, all this happening right after our conversation, the mirrors being moved, these weird night sleep, it was worth doing a little investigation. Now, I just want to let you all know, I'm new to paranormal investigation. Just because I've had some incidents in my life, it doesn't make me an expert on anything. The equipment that I've currently got for the previous investigation and the one that you're going to see just now isn't the best. I'm working with what I've got, but rest assured, you're going to see the new gear for the next investigation. I am tooled up for the next investigation. For going down to Greyfriars Kirk, I'm tooled up. For home investigations, I'm tooled up. We are ready to go now. So I've been making do with what I've had up until this point, and an intelligent response is an intelligent response. Now, I learned a lot from this investigation. We spent a long time at Fleur's doing this, and we debunked a lot of the stuff that happened early on, turning off the Wi-Fi, making sure all the phones were on flight mode. So I've kind of cut all of that out because it was a long period of time where nothing was happening that we considered paranormal. We were just fine-tuning the technique, if you will. We're jumping in at the point where all the phones are on airplane mode, the Wi-Fi is off, everything is as off as we can make it, and we got some really intelligent responses. And if this is a sign of what's to come, I'm very, very excited about this series. If you guys can, please, if you're able to support me on Patreon, $1 Patreon, the $1 Freedom Army, if you guys can do that, I would really, really appreciate it. Every little buck that you can give goes towards new gear, new equipment, traveling expenses, and all the rest of it. I've decided to take the Sci Paranormal on a different path. I want to be looking into the darkest, most evil places that there is. The darkest spirits, murders, places where really horrible moments in time have occurred, or these spaces have been occupied by horrible people from throughout time. I kind of feel like the exposing the predators that I do in real life, in the living world, I want that to sort of emulate in what I do in the paranormal stuff. And whether you believe in the paranormal or not, we're going to go into this, and believe me, I'm all about debunking everything that happens. I just want to present things that are a little bit bizarre, you know, things that can't really be explained, and that's what we're going to do. So the next video, guys, next week, there'll be live broadcast from Greyfriars Kirk when I'm doing my night investigation, into George Bloody Mackenzie, the world's most violent poltergeist. This individual has done some heinous crimes in a period of time that was known as the Killing Times. So we're starting off with a very dark character. And where we're going after this, after the Greyfriars Kirk investigation, where I'm going to next takes me to the other side of Scotland, wild camping for 2 nights. You're just not going to, you're just when you see and hear, you'll understand. So without further ado, guys, remember the link is in the description. Razor Wire Energy. Use code REWAN for 10% off. It's awesome. I use it all the time. In fact, I've got a big, massive resupply package coming, so stay tuned for some interesting stuff that I'm working on with Razor Wire. Okay, so one last thing before we begin this. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the Birmingham investigation. We've got the next step in Leo's story, and I just want to say thank you to Leo for presenting his story. Like, this guy he's a fitness instructor. His channel has nothing to do with paranormal, has nothing to do with the deep web or anything. He is literally laying it all out for you guys. So if you've got questions or you want to see a live Q&A, a live stream with Leo, comment down below, show him your support and leave any questions you have, and we'll make sure they get answered. Ron, chatting away. New episode of Rewan, by the way, is coming tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. I need to have a chat with you all. It's about time. July was awful, and I just want to get it all off my chest, and we'll do that tomorrow in Rewan. Let's just get started with SCI Paranormal, Birmingham Investigation, The Shy Ghost. So the joys, we've just been informed that I will not be allowed to board the plane because I don't have a bus pass. So we're going to head into town right now, get a bus pass so we can get on our plane. Welcome to Scotland. Like I say, this is, you know how it is when you go get a flight and you don't have your bus pass, and they're like, you ain't getting on this plane without a bus pass. Street to get a bus pass. This is real. This is serious. Okay. Sadly, the castle is out of view. That's the National Art Gallery over there. Some more old Scottish monument. Look at that bad boy. Yes. Menacing. If anyone who's been to Edinburgh before, you'll have undoubtedly been on Princess Street. Sort of our main strip, if you will. Pretty nice old buildings though. There's the famous Jenner's building. Goddamn trams. Right, we're going. YOLO. just getting geared up for the festival here in Edinburgh. It's not quite kicked off yet, but there's like whispers of it everywhere. Whispers. Every space of the city gets turned into a venue or a B&B. I mean, it is serious money. It is hot. This has been a really crazy mission to get some ID, to get on a plane, I have to say. Alright, so we're almost on our return journey back to the house. We're gonna go get some food. Obelisk. Anyone that watched the Greyfriars Kirk live stream will have heard me talking about obelisks, but there's another very large one. Oh man, what am I doing? Scanning it. Alright. No, I'm actually just poaching something because I've been out all day and I probably smell better with some boss on than I do right now. So I'm just being honest with you.
Try that one, that's a new one.
It's a new one. Alright, so we're through into the departures, into the duty-free section, tourists galore, and we're finally on our journey. But I feel like we might need to get some snacks. I really hope that they're going to give me like a 60-second warning on when I can't smoke. I really feel like I'm about to find out there's nowhere to have a cigarette. Let me go and ask this guy. Excuse me, I never fly. Have I totally screwed up having a cigarette now? Is there nowhere beyond this point?
Nowhere, unless you go back.
Back all the way, okay. Oh my god. Holy shit, I've just seen the plane. That's small. Like, I've seen I've built model planes bigger than that shit. The f*** is this? Holy f***. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, holy shit. Pretty sure this is the smallest plane known to man. Casey Neistat doesn't have to put up with this.
That's fine. That's what we want.
Do you like Fleur? Do you like that Fleur lives here? Do you like that I'm here? Do you want to talk to me? Just light the box up if you want to talk to me.
Has it gone fucking dead?
It's gone proper dead. Can you do that again? Can you give us 4 lights again? Oh, that poor little moth just got KO'd by that fucking candle. Just landed on the box and then, dude, just singed his wings off it. Okay, so are you wanting to talk to me? Are you wanting to talk to Fleur? Do you want to communicate with anyone? Give us 1 light if you've always been here. Give us 1 light if you remember the Teletubbies being here. Just because obviously this is where the Teletubbies building you were saying used to be. So,
are you shy?
Are you shy? Wow. Okay, thanks. Thank you for that. Can you...
I'm moving home to my parents.
Can you do that again for us? Can you... I mean... Okay.
I've got like a vibrating feeling inside of me.
Yeah. So you're shy, is that right? Or did that annoy you? Are you not shy? Are you trying to tell us that? I think what we'll do is when we ask you something, if it's correct, you interact with this box. So let's say you are shy, is that right? Are you a shy spirit? Or did that anger you? Are you an angry spirit? Are you a spirit at all? Were you ever alive?
Are you a guardian?
Do you mean us harm? Do you want to hurt us? Did you hurt the dog? Did you have something to do with Pip falling out the window? Was that you touching the box just now? Have you got your energy back? Do you want to see if you can make more than 1 light up? Can you do that again for us? Can you touch that box and make more than 1 light come on? Can you touch it again, please?
Are you tired?
Are you tired quite a lot? Have you been here a while? You try talking to him.
Do you like talking to me? Is it hard being here? Do you want to be somewhere else? Do you miss someone? Do you want to look after me or Pip?
Are you here to protect Fleur? Are you part of Fleur's family? That's so weird.
Or do you know Ron?
Do you know me? Have you ever met a man in a hat? Do you ever visit people in their dreams? Do you want to talk to me alone? Do you want Fleur to be alone?
Do you want to just talk to me? Why? Can you show me how much you want to talk to me?
Do you want me to leave?
Do you want me to be in this room on my own? Do you not want to talk to me now? You do? Or do you not? Light the box if you do want to talk to me. Please. I want to talk to you. Are we friends? Do you want to be my friend?
Do you know Fleur? Did you know Fleur before she moved to this house? Do you want me to stop talking?
If you light up the box, we'll stop talking to you.
Maybe you really are shy. Is that an issue? Is it an issue talking to us?
Or does it take a lot of strength to light up the box and you're tired?
Just touch the box a little bit if that's the case. We'll get a reading even if you're really, really weak. Have you used all your energy? Are you feeling too tired now?
Are you bored of touching the box endlessly?
If you're bored of the box, why don't you try and knock over that coin? Or blow out some of the candles? Do you want to be alone with Fleur? This is weird.
Do you want us to not film?
Are you what we would call a demon? Are you a negative soul? Or are you a positive soul? Do you want people to be scared of you? Or are you worried you're going to scare us?
Do you want me to like you?
Okay, we're going to stop this now. So if you would like to communicate with us one more time, if you'd like to confirm that any of the questions that we've asked you, I'm going to repeat them, the ones that gave us the biggest hits. Do you want to talk to Fleur alone? Do you want Fleur to be by herself?
Are you tired? If I touch the box, will you touch the box as well?
Do you want Fleur to touch the box with you? Give it a try, see what happens. Do you want to come and touch Fleur's hand?
Come touch the box with me.
So thank you for for lighting up the box. We really appreciate that. Thank you for interacting with us if you're here. If you want to come and say goodbye, Please come and touch the box. Do you prefer it when Fleur asks you the questions? Would you rather just talk to Fleur? Come on, one big last show. Show us that you're here and move that coin. Roll it across the plate or knock it over. I bet you can do it. Do you want us to stop talking to you? Shall we go now? Okay. If that was you that knocked over that coin, can you light up that box? It just did it. One more time. Convince us. Did you knock over that coin? Knock it over again now then. Go. Do it. Do you not like it when I raise my voice to you? Was it you that knocked over the coin before? Light up that box one more time if it was you that knocked over the coin, and then we'll stop. One light for yes. Did you knock over the coin? Knock it over again. Okay, thank you very much for lighting up this box all night. Thank you for knocking over that coin. I believe you that you knocked over the coin. Can you light up the box one more time? Nah, he's done. They're done.
I believe in you too.
Okay, just before we end, I'd like to say you do not have permission to attach yourself to me, to Fleur, to the dog, to anyone else. You've not permission to do anything aggressive. But if you want to show us that you're here, knock that coin over or light up the box before we end this. Alright, thank you. Appreciate that. It's been really nice talking to you. Alright, we're going to end it now. I'm putting off the camera. I'm turning off the box. In fact, I'm going to turn off the box now. The only thing you've got left to do is knock over that coin or blow out the candles. And there's no more book for you. So I'm not doing the whole house. I'm just doing the room that we did this in. Old British market here. Leather goods. The usual. But yeah, last night failed to get to the Shakespeare gravesite. But I had some weird occurrences with the little experiment we did in the house. And yeah, I'm going to check the footage. As of yet, I've not checked the footage, so we're not too exactly queued up on if anything happened, if there was any EVPs or anything like that. But certainly that coin falling was definitely the weirdest out of all of it. But we'll cut back soon.
I get a little bit breathless. My thoughts are too big. Can I get some comfort, please? I guess I should have been honest. It breaks in my heart. It's weighing me down, baby. I'm like a river that's overflowed. The sooner you know it, the less do we hurt. Let me speak the truth. I know
that looks like it still has a thatched roof. Oh my god. Does it? Who knows? That's mental. The buildings here are just unbelievable. I mean, all of this Tudor wood is just, it's unbelievable. Alright, well, getting ready to head back now. Just have to come and take some pictures of those houses. Just found out that that's actually a rentable property, and it's the oldest property in Stratford. Amazing. It's just amazing. So, quick ciggy in the park. and then it's time to get ready to head back to normality, the editing, all of that, and of course we're going to be getting ourselves ready for our paranormal investigation this week, where we're going back to Greyfriars Kirk in the evening, 12 o'clock till about 5, to do our night investigation. Now hopefully Amazon haven't screwed me, and when I get home there'll be some packages, so yeah. We are heading home, so more duty-free goodness. Check it out, everything's so f***ing shiny. Alright, so just finished an Instagram stream before I came on to the security section. So big shout out to everybody who was watching that, keeping me entertained pre-flight. I need to find a charger. We need USB ports. Made it back home, landed. Alright, forgive the vlogginess of that video. I hope you guys seen the intelligent responses there. Like, for me, that coin knocking over is by far one of the maddest moments that I've had. I mean, to get a response like that, to get it even confessing to what it had done afterwards was really, really interesting for me. And at this point I understand you have to take a lot of my word for it. You have to take my word for it that the phones were off and all the rest of it, and I get that. But like I say, in the up and coming investigations, I'm going to make sure that there's nothing left to question, the equipment's more up to par, and in the next video we're going to have a very special episode of SCI Paranormal on Monday. We're going to have a look at my new equipment. We're going to have a look at Matt, who's done a little investigation of his own into one of his neighbours' houses. We're also going to look at the community evidence that's been posted on the Discord. If you want to join the Discord link is in the description. It is reopened. Come and join us. It's a fantastic, fantastic community. We're also going to be looking into an oracle reading and a past lives reading that I had by a medium this week that have completely blown my mind. Completely blown my mind. And just before I say anything else on that, I think we'll just let Leo get on with his story, and I'll see you guys on Monday for the next episode of SCI Paranormal, where we talk about the date for our evening, nighttime, midnight till 5 AM investigation of Greyfriars Kirk, George Bloody Mackenzie, the most violent poltergeist in the world. See you on Monday.
Just when you think things can get worse, that's when they did. This is one of the most traumatic experiences that I've ever gone through in my entire life, and I'd have to say that it really changed a lot of stuff for me. From that point on, that experience made me realize that anything can happen at any moment and that I'm not safe. It made me realize that whatever was in this house indeed has power, the power to do whatever it wants. This is what happened, guys. I remember it perfectly as if it was yesterday. So I was coming home from school. I used to go to boarding school, and every Friday was half a day. So that Friday I got home at 12 o'clock, and I was taking care of myself by then. My grandpa would stop in occasionally to take care of me if he could. My mom would be at work, my brother would be at school. He would not have half a day because he didn't go to the same school as me. So the bus, it pulled up in front of my house, and you know, I was used to everything that went on before that. All the scratches on the walls, your bed shaking, hearing sounds over the house. That, you know, that was just an everyday thing now. From that point, I just knew to expect it. So I wasn't really scared at that point. I was kind of just going with whatever happened. And just as I thought things couldn't get worse, I remember going upstairs to my house. I lived on the 3rd floor of an apartment building. So I walked upstairs. Nobody is home at that time. You know, everyone's working at 12 o'clock. So I'm like probably the only person in that building. There were my neighbors that were on the 1st floor on the left side of the building. So the apartment is basically split up like this. There's one set of apartments here, the other set of apartments here in one building. It's divided by a wall, and then the floors go up us. So I was walking up my stairs, opened the door. It was a beautiful sunny day outside. I go into the kitchen and get myself some juice. I go into the living room, I gotta explain this. So the kitchen, well, as soon as you come to the apartment building, there's doors right here. On the left of the door, there's a hallway that leads to the kitchen. and straight, as soon as you come in, the living room's right here. On the right, the bedrooms are on the right side of the door. So left side, kitchen, right side, living room, bedrooms, and ahead is the living room. So I go to the kitchen, get my cup of juice, go into the living room right after that. I remember sitting down, turning on the TV, and watching TV, cartoons, you know, laughing, and then out of nowhere, you know, I hear something. And it's like a noise, and I'm used to it, but it wasn't just like any other noise that I've heard before. It was coming from the kitchen. So I'm sitting here, and I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, what could that be? You know, it's like a scratch, kind of like a pulling sound, and I'm like, all right, let me go check it out. So it's coming from the kitchen. I know that because it wasn't coming from the bedroom. I'm kind of like hearing something from that side, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, something's going on here. So I kind of go into the kitchen. You know, I'm a little shaken up right now because I hear something there. And all right, so the kitchen, this is what's interesting about that. So the kitchen's here. You come in, and on the left side, there's like a little counter, the fridge, and there's another little counter, and the stove is right there. And we're on the 3rd floor, like I mentioned before. So we had a patio that's attached to the kitchen, so you can like go outside, you could like, you know, hang out and like look downstairs. And our little patio has like a little gate right there that it's like attached to the neighbors, right? So the neighbor has a little patio, our thing is like blocked off by like a little gate, and then there's like a stair that leads all the way downstairs, like a little fire escape, I guess. So what happened was, I remember like peeping over, like kind of looking into the kitchen, trying to figure out what's going on. Just very, you know, intrigued and scared at the same time. Like, what is this? I gotta figure it out, because I don't want someone to break into the house, obviously. That was my first thought, like, what if someone's trying to break in the house? I have to figure out what's going on before that happens. So I go into the kitchen, and you know, I hear it, and as soon as I look and I like walk into the kitchen, the noise stops automatically. And I'm thinking to myself, could it be like a squirrel? You know, you're trying to rationalize everything possible, like a squirrel, a cat maybe, raccoon, like scratching the wall, trying to like pull on. I don't know what was going on at that point. I'm like, this is weird, you know, like maybe it's an animal, like, because I like peeped out the window, I like opened the little shade, I'm looking outside, and you can imagine as a little kid, like you see nothing, you know, I'm trying to look around, trying to see if there's like a squirrel or anything, like an animal that could have made that sound, like scratching and pulling. And I look at the gate to see if it's closed to like my neighbor's side. I'm looking out the window, I'm like, all right, it's closed, there's, you know, nothing there. I stay there for a couple minutes, you know, trying to see if there's anything there. Nothing happens, right? So I'm like, all right, maybe an animal walked by, started scratching the wall. Go back into the living room, I sit down, and as soon as I sit down, guys, like maybe 30 seconds of sitting down, like getting comfortable watching TV, I hear it again in the kitchen. I hear a sound, and at that point I'm like, all right, I try running up, you know, as soon as I hear it, I run out, and as soon as I look into the hallway, the noise stops. And at that point I'm like thinking to myself, there has to be an animal out there, or either someone's trying to break in the house. And at that point I'm kind of getting scared as a kid. I'm like, all right, something's going on here. So before I call my mom, I'm like, let me figure this out. Let me try to go into the kitchen one more time, just sit there for a couple, like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, guys. I sat at that window, looking straight outside to see if that sound happened again. It literally sounded like someone was almost like, so our door, we have a normal door, and then we have like a little aluminum door that you open up, you know, to keep the flies out, the little net. So that's what I would hear, kind of moving, like the aluminum kind of shaking. You can hear that from like the living room. So I remember sitting there thinking to myself, like looking out the window, like if someone's trying to break in the house, I have to, like, I want to be able to see them so I can call like the cops or whatever it is. My mom, I had the phone in my hand. I'm looking out the window waiting, and I wait some more, and nothing happens, right? And then I kind of like, I think to myself, all right, something's going on, this isn't right, you know, I'm kind of getting scared right now at this point, freaking out, and I think someone's trying to break in the house, because I know it's not an animal. Maybe someone knows I'm looking out the window somehow. I'm like looking out the gate stuff. So this is the weirdest part too. So remember how I mentioned there's like a little gate blocking off like my neighbor from our side? That thing was closed, right? So if someone was trying to break in the house, how is it possible that they're able to run over? They have to like jump over the gate to get to the other side and run down the stairs so I don't see them. But I literally ran to the kitchen, so I'm thinking to myself, that can't be. There can't be a person trying to break in the house. It can't be an animal, because I'm like looking out the window, and animals aren't that smart, right? They can't go like back and forth just knowing that I just left. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, let me call my mom and let me ask her what she thinks I should do. I remember picking up the phone, calling her, and she's at work right now. I called her, I'm like, hey mom, I think something's going on, right? I think someone's trying to break in the house. And I'll never forget this, guys. Like, I told her that, and she's like, you know what, it's probably your imagination. And I'm on the phone with her at this point. I go into her room, and she's like, well, she tells me to go into her room and close the door. She's like, I'll be home very soon. And she's like, it's probably your imagination, don't worry about it, or an animal, you know, something like that along those lines. And I'm like, alright mom, you know, alright, I'm gonna go in my bedroom, and I'll close the door, I'll lock it. And that's exactly what she told me to do. So I like got out the living room, walked down the hall like this short distance into her room, I closed the door, and guys, literally like a minute after I hang up the phone, I'm in her room, and all you can hear is like the door shaking like crazy, like it's shaking outside. Like I hear the aluminum foil door moving like crazy, and in my head I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? You know, like I'm freaking out right now because I hear something like just shaking the door, as if like as soon as I close her door, 30 seconds into be there, guys, I'm just standing there thinking to myself, like, what is going on right now? Like I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. Like I lock her door, and I hear the door just shaking, and then boom. Sounds like something ripped the door open, guys. Literally sounded like the door ripped off the wall. Like the aluminum foil's door sounded like it just went flying, and the door, it sounded like someone broke in the house. And at this point, I like shit my pants, guys. Excuse my language, but I freaked out. So as soon as I heard that, I opened my mom's door. I didn't even look in the kitchen, guys. I just opened the door. I ran outside into the hallway. I locked myself out because I like went outside the apartment. I didn't even want to look. I was so terrified to look in that kitchen, guys. It sounded like someone ripped the door right off the wall. Somebody was in the house, and I did not want to die. That was my instinct just told me to leave. Don't stay in that house. I literally ran outside my mom's room. Didn't even look. I closed my eyes and went. I knew where the door was. So I left the apartment. I tried opening it back up, and I was like, crap. I locked myself out, and I tried calming myself down. I'm like, all right, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of the situation? What do I do next? So I just ran downstairs. And I remember that my neighbor on the first floor, it's like they're her, like, you know, they have like little babies they're taking care of, like they're like kids. So I ran downstairs onto the other side of the apartment. I like knocked on the door frantically saying, I think someone broke in my house. I think someone broke in my house. You gotta come with me. You gotta do something. I locked myself out. I'm like freaking out. Like I'm just knocking on the door. They open it and they're like, calm down, you know, like here they gave me like an apple juice to calm down, you know, we'll go check out the apartment. We'll go behind, you know, like in the porch. So I told him what happened. I told him I heard someone break in the house, and the guy like picked up, he picked up something. I don't know what it was, but he was just carrying something, and said that we're gonna go check together. I remember going outside his porch in the back, and we looked upstairs, and you can see like the doors leading up there, and we literally looked at every single floor. Like they all have like little porches and patios. We looked with a flashlight. I remember he had a flashlight. He looked into like the little crevices to see if anyone was hiding. So we looked at every single floor. We made it to the third floor. Look, the gate was closed, the door was in perfect condition. We looked inside like the window, because you could see like little peeps through the window in our apartment, and we looked, nothing was there, guys. But that moment on, I realized truly that whatever was in that house isn't afraid to show its power. It can physically do harm, because if it could physically make the sound that it made, it could physically do harm to my body or whoever's in that house. I remember I waited for my mom to come home that night. She came home, picked me up from their house because I was locked outside of my apartment. And I was terrified, guys. I mean, from that night on, I slept in my mom's bed. I couldn't sleep in my own bed because I was terrified of what would happen next if I was by myself. You can't be protected from what's happening in that house. Like as a kid, my mom was terrified. She would never want to talk about what was going on. And she kind of tried to like rationalize things, saying, it's okay. It's okay, I'm with you, I'll protect you. My brother, he was terrified as well. And this story kind of escalates, so that was like one of the biggest turning points in my life. And it's just kind of really crazy, And then there's two things I'm gonna throw in here before I move on to like the next part of like my life and experiences. I should have died twice in Port Chester, in that location that I live at.